I often find myself reflecting on my 8-year marriage to Lily, a relationship I once believed was unshakable despite the occasional turbulence we faced. In the beginning, our life together was filled with hope and dreams for the future. We were a team, navigating the challenges of life side by side, supporting each other through thick and thin. But as the years passed, the dynamics began to shift in ways I couldn't have anticipated, and the cracks in our foundation grew deeper until they became impossible to ignore. Early in our marriage, I struggled with job instability. The uncertainty weighed heavily on me, and I often felt like I was failing as a provider. But I was determined to build a better life for us, no matter how hard I had to work. I poured my energy into creating a successful business that focused on repairing and selling electronics. It wasn't easy. There were long hours, sleepless nights, and countless setbacks. But gradually, I found my footing. With persistence and dedication, the business began to grow, and so did our financial stability. I was proud of what I had accomplished, believing that my success would strengthen our bond and bring us closer together. I thought we were building a life we could both be proud of. However, as my income increased, I noticed a change in Lily. It was subtle at first, but over time, it became impossible to ignore. She began to exhibit a sense of entitlement that I hadn't seen before. It was as if my success had shifted her perspective, and she started to expect luxuries without contributing to our financial journey. She wanted designer clothes, expensive vacations, and a lifestyle that felt increasingly disconnected from the values we had once shared. I tried to talk to her about it, to understand where this shift was coming from, but she dismissed my concerns, often turned the conversation back on me. I felt like I was walking on eggshells, unsure of how to bridge the growing gap between us. The tipping point came unexpectedly, and it shattered whatever remained of the trust one had in our marriage. One evening, during a phone call, Lily accidentally called me by another man's name. The moment hung in the air, heavy and suffocating, and my heart sank. I tried to brush it off, to convince myself it was a simple mistake, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. My mind raced with questions, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that there were signs I had been ignoring. Late nights out, secretive phone calls, and a growing emotional distance between us. I knew I had to find out the truth, no matter how painful it might be. I began to investigate, and what I discovered was devastating. Intimate messages exchanged between Lily and a man named Maxwell confirmed my worst fears. Betrayal cut deep, and I felt a mix of anger, sadness, and disbelief. How could someone I had loved and trusted so deeply betray me in this way? I replayed our years together in my mind, searching for answers, but none came. The pain was overwhelming, and I knew I couldn't keep this to myself. I had to confront her. Confronting Lily was one of the hardest moments of my life. I sat her down and told her what I had found, hoping for honesty, for some explanation that would make sense of the chaos. But instead, she deflected the blame onto me. She claimed I was financially useless and emotionally unavailable, painting herself as a victim in a twisted narrative. She said I had neglected her, that I was too focused on my business to give her the attention she deserved. It felt surreal to hear her words, as if she had rewritten our history to justify her actions. The pain of betrayal morphed into a determination to reclaim my life, to no longer be defined by her lies and manipulation. After that tumultuous confrontation, I made the difficult decision to file for divorce. The mediation process was fraught with tension. Lily was relentless in seeking a significant financial settlement, as if my hard-earned success was something she felt entitled to rather than a product of our shared journey. She demanded alimony, a portion of the business, and even claimed rights to properties I had worked tirelessly to acquire. It was a painful reminder of how much our relationship had soured, how far we had strayed from the partnership we once had. I fought to protect what I had built, but the process drained me emotionally and financially. In the aftermath of the divorce, I faced financial strain, grappling with a change in my circumstances. The business took a hit, and I had to make difficult decisions to keep it afloat. But through the challenges, I found a glimmer of hope. I stumbled upon a beautiful waterfront property, a place that felt like a symbol of a new beginning. It was quiet and serene, a stark contrast to the chaos I had been living in. I knew I had to have it. It became my sanctuary, a place where I could rebuild and reclaim my identity, away from the shadows of my past. As time passed, I began to heal. I focused on my business, pouring my energy into making it stronger than ever. I reconnected with friends and family, people who had been there for me long before Lily came into my life. I even started dating again, though cautiously, knowing that trust would take time to rebuild. And then, out of the blue, Lily reached out to me. She revealed her struggles in her new life, how things hadn't turned out the way she had hoped. She asked for financial help, a request that struck a deep chord within me. It was a stark reminder of how she viewed me, more as a provider than a partner. I thought about it for a long time, weighing the pros and cons, but in the end, I firmly denied her request. I knew that my journey forward required me to let go of the past and focus on my own growth. Looking back, I've come to understand the importance of trusting my instincts in relationships. The lessons learned from my marriage to Lily are etched into my being. I now recognize that true partnership requires mutual respect and support, not just in the good times, but especially in the hard times. Despite the setbacks, I've learned that rebuilding financially and emotionally is possible. My final thoughts linger on the notion that self-worth is not defined by someone else's actions or expectations. As I move forward, I'm determined to embrace a future that honors my self-worth and the lessons of the past, leaving behind a weight of betrayal and stepping into a new chapter of my life, one filled with hope, resilience, and the promise of better days ahead.